Season 4 brought with it, of course, the new content that we covered here on the channel already with the update video and all, but it also brought with it a new event, which if you're a camo grinder or you're like limited time rewards like I do in the way of camos and blueprints, there's a surprising amount of them by comparison to prior seasonal launch events that we've seen so far. 2 camos, 2 blueprints, and a few other smaller things, which honestly, I don't care too much for, but the camos and such, absolutely. So today I wanted to touch base with you guys on a bit of a guide for the fastest path to unlock these if you want to use the new camos, blueprints, whatever, and you want to unlock them so you can end up using them as quick as possible. As we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Do you like any of these skins? Any that you're really interested in going for? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. If you enjoyed the video, you'll find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay with all things Season 4 and beyond, as well as we got some stuff like X-Defiant content coming here over the weekend and into next week with that upcoming open beta. Finally, make sure to check out my friends over at G Fuel for 30% off certain items like hype sauce tubs in the month of June, but more on them in a bit. For now, let's jump into the guide and how to get this done as fast and as efficient as possible. So first, the Assault on Vondel event. What is it? What do you need to know about it? Well, it's actually broken into 2 separate categories here with this, where at the beginning, it's a community challenge, and then underneath it, there's individual challenges for things that, of course, count towards that overall community challenge, but it also grants you individual rewards as well. So as it stands right now, the first challenge as of recording this is to get 125 million medals here as a community, and that's everybody playing on, logging on globally, not just in your region or wherever, but once we get 125 million medals, we end up unlocking the taxi boat and trams that go through the canals in Vondel. That's an actual gameplay feature being added in. Same thing with the reinforcement flare after that, a field upgrade that will be coming, and then following that, the favorite supply boxes, which will grant you your loadout weapons, but not your perks or equipment or anything like that. And then finally, the last unlock for the community is the melee weapon of the Tonfa. Now, this stuff is going to last for a couple of weeks here at this point. We've only sort of just made a dent with, as the time of recording this again, 24 million medals earned communally, so there's a lot to go, but that stuff that you'll see unlocked and granted for free just for simply logging in as the community unlocks it. But the individual challenges here, this is where you can end up getting a number of different things. Unlike last season's trophy hunt event, you can't pick and choose with this. It is chronological and unlock, but you end up having the ability to end up earning things like a loading screen, vehicle skin, emblem, blueprints, camos, weapon stickers, decals, operator skins, and stuff like that. To unlock all of these items, it takes 40 medals to complete, those being granted by simply completing your challenges. And once you complete those, of course, the medals you earn also go towards that communal total. The main focus of these, of course, are in Vondel, focusing on the new map, hence the name Assault on Vondel, though Modern Warfare 2 owners do get an additional 3 sets of challenges that can be done in standard multiplayer if you'd like, offering a bit more ways to engage with the event. You're not really a fan of Warzone or DMZ or anything like that, but the Vondel challenge breakdowns, you'll see challenges for finding detonators, starting and completing contracts at POIs, killing enemy soldiers and operators, as well as challenges for opening containers. Now, breaking these down individually a bit further, finding detonators, this is the main narrative-driven challenge here. You're tasked with finding the items in the Assault on Vondel, and unfortunately, I anticipated making a quick little all locations guide to include in the video, but having gone back, I quickly realized that, well, they change spawn locations every game and are random around that POI. So there's overlap, but you're not guaranteed to see it in one spot or another. Instead, you'll have to look for the briefcase from Search and Destroy's bomb planting, and you'll be prompted with an audio cue telling you that there's one in the vicinity. A little different for Resurgence and DMZ, but kind of getting the same gist. Those sounding like this.
Be advised, an enemy bomb detonator is in your area. Locate and secure it.
Ultra One, an enemy bomb detonator has been reported near your location. We need you to secure it. All Ultra detonators secure. Good work.
From there, it's just a matter of scouting them out. Honestly, for these, my recommendation, as maybe tedious as it seems initially, may just be to drop into a new location each match of Resurgence on Vondel, or get a lucky rotation and maybe knock out a couple of them. I'd recommend doing these in Resurgence. The rest of the challenges can be done kind of wherever, but for these, most of the locations, if you were to go, say, into DMZ, less players, more AI, of course, it could be something you could sneak around a bit. A lot of these places are overpopulated with AI, sometimes tier 3 AI, armored to the teeth, or areas that are strongholds where you can't just walk in and get to that detonator. Initially, upon seeing the first one in my game in Resurgence, I was like, oh, this should be easy. I can jump into DMZ, but then Well, I tried it, and it actually turned out to be way more tedious than just simply dropping into new locations or trying to hit rotations in Resurgence. So just be on the lookout for that. Again, would recommend the fast action and pace of Resurgence. If you don't care about winning or stats or anything like that, you can queue up, drop in, find the detonator, interact with it, which is how you end up completing that challenge. Unfortunately, if you're with a squad, everybody has to interact with it. It's individual based, not counting it as a team if somebody interacts with it, but you can do that and then back out and restart the whole process. This stuff, save for the challenges that end up requiring you to win or complete matches, you don't have to finish those matches out. Now, next, the starting and completing contracts. This credits you for any contract started at that location. You don't have to finish it in those spots. So you find a bounty, scavenger, radioactive contract, anything, you're good. You can just simply do that starting at that location and complete it, and you're credited. Killing soldiers versus operators. This is one that at first I didn't read it properly, so I was confused. I was like, wait a second, is this not tracking? Because I knew for a fact that landing hot at Stadium, almost every game since Vondel's launch, I knew that I killed 10 players at Stadium. And I mean, how many months did we have camo challenges not tracking properly? Some probably still don't. But then I read it again, and it's a key distinguishing factor. Soldiers and operators are mentioned differently. Soldiers is AI, so that's something that has to be done in DMZ. But it's incredibly easy, just might be something that you don't really consider doing. Operators, that's real players in Resurgence, or later on down the line, the new mode of Lockdown when that's introduced in about 2 weeks. Opening containers, well, that's just opening chests. Real easy there. Duffel bags also count towards that, so if you find those, you can do that too. Now, those are the Warzone challenges and everything that go along with it, but we also end up seeing additional multiplayer challenges of winning 5 matches in Hardpoint, confirming 75 tags and kill confirmed, 25 assault kills, that being the attacker medals. So if you're capturing or pushing towards either a domination flag, grind, bank point, hardpoint, and so on, that's where you'll get credit for it. Winning 5 matches of search, capturing 25 points in domination, 25 defender medals, opposite of assault, so you're defending that point that you own, a flag, hardpoint, whatever the case with you or your team on it. Winning 5 matches of headquarters, getting 3 kills without dying 15 times in TDM, and getting 15 high value target kills in bounty. Now, there are 2 additional ways to get 1 medal per match that you end up playing, in which in Warzone, you can get another medal by placing 5th or higher in any Warzone match. Doesn't have to be Vondel. So if you're like an Ashika main or you're just playing a bunch of ranked, you can end up getting medals here counting towards that just for simply playing, and also getting 15 kills in a winning multiplayer match, which is any mode. Doesn't have to be TDM, domination, can be anything, so long as you win and get 15 kills. But again, beyond the specified challenges like those multiplayer matches or the placement requirements, you can back out of ones that do not require you to end up finishing the match out. So that's something that can speed up the process a little bit. Now, for me, the easiest chain that I found to 40 medals was going firstly for those chest challenges, detonator challenges, and then the soldier and operator challenges if you're playing Resurgence. But also, if you don't want to play that kind of stuff, getting 3 kills without dying in TDM 15 times, getting assault and defender medals, and honestly, just placing in Warzone matches or getting those 15 kills in a winning multiplayer match. Through one night, I was able to do that kind of stuff. On the Warzone side of things, I ended up getting 11 5th place finishes without really even paying attention to it, going for it actively or anything like that, and 15 kills in a winning multiplayer match for just like an hour of game time or something like that. So that's truly something that you can breeze through as well. But if you end up chaining these together, that's where you end up starting to, of course, make it the most time efficient. For me though, honestly, if you don't mind it, I would kind of avoid most of the multiplayer challenges. So if you want some kind of freebies, again, the attacker and defender medals, definitely nice. 3 kills in TDM without dying 15 times. Those chain together also. So if you go like 3 kills, 6 kills, 9 kills, a 12 streak, that'll end up counting as 2, 3, 4, and so on for those 3 kill streaks. The problem is though, those completion or win MP match challenges, you can knock out 2 or 3 of those Warzone challenges by comparison, if not more, in that same time that it would take to complete those matches, let alone win them. Like search is anywhere from 6 to 12 minutes, depending on if a team will go back and forth on a volley with their rounds. But I could land at a zone, loot crates, find a detonator, maybe get some kills in that same amount of time. So a 3 to 1 is an easy one to me. So highly recommend the Resurgence-based and DMZ-based ones over the MP ones, but that's just me. Now, as for the rewards, you end up grinding these out. Again, you can do this in less than a few hours of playtime if you are efficient with it. The rewards themselves, though, I have this hardcore fear of missing out. So are these worth it? Is it something that they look good? Well, I think they look okay, but I think that we could also see some better rewards as well. There's some cool stuff here, don't get me wrong. Like the splatter tactics and the train car camos aren't the best, but they look better on some weapons compared to different ones. The X12 Sea Dog blueprint is one that I probably won't use too much, but I mean, it's a cool looking ornate blueprint. The Signal 50 blueprint, man, I love the way this thing looks. I just wish it wasn't for the Signal. And also, I get that like the way the blueprints work, it allows for a lot more in-depth and cool, intricate designs for this because it's built for one specific weapon and not something that has to be a pattern that can then be applied to every single weapon. But imagine having this skin on like a TAC 56, on a Cronin Squall, on an ISO Hemlock, something like that that gets a lot of use by comparison to the Signal 50. I would love that as a camo design. I think that would look really cool. Also, not gonna lie, little bummed that we didn't get anything animated here in that regard. That's just me personally. I really enjoy the animated camos. If you don't, totally cool. That's entirely subjective. But anyways, that's the rewards you end up getting for all of these, and hopefully a way that can help you chart a fastest way possible to unlock them if you don't want to take your time. If you do, you want to make it last the 3 weeks here or so until the mid-season update, that's totally fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you're somebody that wants to show off the items you end up grinding out, these would be my recommendations. But beyond that, that's what we're going to call it. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you guys like these rewards? Do you like the event overall? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts. Before we wrap everything up, make sure to check out my friends over at G Fuel. Code Espresso gets you 20% off all items all of the time, but for the month of June, things like Hype Sauce, Hibiscus Tea, MS Melon, starter kits, those kind of things all are at 30% off. So better discounts than normal. If you guys want to check something out for the very first time, starter kits are a great way to do that, or get a restock on any tubs. Hype Sauce is one of my favorites. I'd say top 3 for me. But if you guys want to check that out, link in the description below and use code Espresso to save as much as possible. But beyond that, let me know your thoughts down below once again. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay video with all things Season 4 coverage, X-Defiant, and other FPS content here upcoming. But for now, that's what we're going to call it. So thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.